Right now on Fox 43 Featured, a voting bill recently passed in the U.S. House is getting a lot of attention. Reactions from Pennsylvania leaders on both sides of the aisle to the Save America Act. Plus, WellSpan officials gave a tour of the newest hospital expected to open in York County. A look inside the facility in Newberry Township. And the Pennsylvania Game Commission released nearly 10,000 extra pheasants. How it's giving hunters one last chance to get out in the woods before the end of small game season. Thanks for joining us for Fox 43 Featured. I'm Sidon Meadows. We're highlighting some of our top stories of the week. The U.S. House has passed a bill which would require proof of citizenship to register to vote and an ID to vote at the polls nationwide. Fox 43's James Corrigan spoke with state leaders for their reaction about the bill.
The fight over election law has heated up again after the U.S. House passed the Save America Act on Wednesday, which would require proof of citizenship, such as a passport, to register to vote, and would also require identification to be shown at every polling place.
You got to show an ID to check out a book at a library.
Pennsylvania GOP Chair Greg Rothman says the law is common sense and that the consequences of the wrong people voting are too great to ignore.
We have all kinds of issues where the federal government tells the state what to do, and this is a case where these elections have national consequences.
The bill was supported by every member of Pennsylvania's Republican delegation, including Congressman Scott Perry and Lloyd Smucker. It's been criticized by Democrats who say the bill would disenfranchise large portions of the electorate. Nearly 10% of voting-aged citizens don't have proof of citizenship ready available. Governor Josh Shapiro spoke out against the act today in Philadelphia, tying the law to President Donald Trump's recent declaration that he wants to nationalize elections.
We're going to continue to respect the will of the people here in Pennsylvania, and we are not going to turn our elections over to Donald Trump.
The bill now heads to the Senate, where some Republicans have floated eliminating the filibuster to pass it. Rothman says ID is needed for everyday activities and should be a low-barrier safeguard, while Shapiro says his administration will continue to keep elections safe and secure.
I always thought that was the greatest hypocrisy, that I'm required to show an ID to get into a public building, but I don't have to show it to vote for those same public officials.
Elections are run by the states and by our counties. We believe the administration of elections should be nonpartisan, and we're going to keep it that way.
James Corrigan, Fox 43 News.
This week, the only library in Perry County to offer passport services is no longer able to provide that resource. Due to a federal change affecting libraries nationwide, passport application and renewal services at the Marysville Rye Public Library came to an end Wednesday night. And the new federal rule doesn't allow passport services at non-governmental locations like nonprofits and libraries. And for residents who use the service, the loss means traveling farther now.
It's very convenient coming here. We didn't have a long wait time at all. They were able to take us in, I think, within a day.
The library director also shared with Fox 43 that a majority of their revenue came from passport services, and they will now look to implement additional resources to keep the library open to the public. To read more about this story, head to fox43.com. With more data centers being proposed in South Central Pennsylvania, state and federal authorities are looking at ways to regulate them to keep electricity prices down. This week, the Trump administration reportedly drafted a compact with tech developers to pledge to not raise electricity prices through new data centers. Meanwhile, Governor Josh Shapiro unveiled new statewide requirements for data centers, including that they provide their own power generation. Advocates say what is included between the lines of these regulations will be key for whether welcoming a data center would be worthwhile for a community.
If a new large load, a new data center, doesn't bring its own new clean power or storage, the inherent results are going to be increased air pollution, increased strain on the grid, and a financial blow to residential ratepayers. So that's it. It will be something we're watching over the course of this year.
Governor Shapiro says he met with the head of PJM on Wednesday to urge an extension of the price cap that he helped negotiate. Pennsylvania U.S. Senator Dave McCormick is endorsing fellow Republican Stacey Garrity in her run for governor. McCormick said in a statement, quote, "I can't think of a moment in our history where Pennsylvania has been more in need of the talent, focus, and honesty of someone like Stacey Garrity. The stakes are high. Pennsylvania is still lagging, and this moment calls for change." Now, Garrity is running against incumbent Josh Shapiro this November. She has already received an endorsement from President Trump. Well, a brand new hospital is set to open next month, bringing emergency care closer to home for Northern York County. Fox 43's Natalie Caranda shows us how WellSpan Newberry Hospital is built around the people who will care for this community.
Jamie Wardle has been saving lives and practicing medicine for 25 years.
I feel like people are lining up waiting to get here, and we can't open fast enough.
Now she's continuing that work at WellSpan's newest hospital that is set to open in March just off Interstate 83 in Newberry Township.
This is my first opening. I've always been a part of a team that go in and kind of fix maybe what's broken, but this has been, we handpicked our team based on skill set, based on personalities, based on teamwork, and that collaborative approach.
The hospital is designed to keep care fast and close with a 10-bed emergency department, 10 inpatient rooms, on-site X-ray and CT scanning, an in-house lab, and emergency physicians on site around the clock.
No matter if you're showing up with the sniffles or a heart attack or a gunshot wound, we're fully capable and ready to take care of you.
Inside each patient room features built-in technology that connects patients directly with their doctors, even when they aren't in the building.
We will bring them up onto our screen. The cameras are along the top. Caregility is what we're using. And then they'll do a full assessment. So we have electronic stethoscopes that you can actually listen to the heart and lungs, and the doctors can see that and hear that.
Specialists are available 24/7 through telemedicine, with doctors spending more time one-on-one with patients.
The patients get to know their doctors. They get to have one-on-one time with their doctors, and it's the nurse and the patient care tech and the doctor in the room. That's it.
WellSpan leaders say having emergency care close to home can make a life-saving difference, as they plan to open 2 more facilities this spring in Shrewsbury and Carlisle.
I love patient care, and I can't wait to take care of the community. Everybody's already reaching out, asking us, when are you opening?
Natalie Caranda, Fox 43 News.
In other news, Penny says that 1 in 5 enrollees in its health insurance plans have dropped their coverage since the expiration of federal tax credits. Healthcare premiums have doubled during the 2026 enrollment period after credits for the Affordable Care Act expired in December. Penny says a total of 85,000 Pennsylvanians dropped their coverage altogether, while another 33,000 reduced their coverage to a lower cost plan. Well, with hunting season wrapping up at the end of the month, the Pennsylvania Game Commission is giving hunters one last shot at small game with extra pheasants. Fox 43's Kyle Ennis hit the field with the Pennsylvania Game Commission in York County for a release, tagging along as hunters made the most of these final days.
Evan Stouffer started his Wednesday early, looking for pheasants.
I've been out here since about like 6:30 this morning. Yeah, waiting for the sun to come up, waiting for the truck to pull through.
With small game season in its final stretch, hunters are following tree lines and trails, hoping for one last opportunity.
Just getting ready for the cold, making sure I had waterproof boots, waterproof pants, just getting ready for the snow and the cold and the wind.
State Game Warden Cameron Murphy helped organize the release of 130 birds in York County.
The idea is the crew gets the birds out as quick as they can, let the birds distribute a little bit, and then the hunters can go after it and see if they can find them.
With avian flu impacting some commercial farms, the PGC asks suppliers to raise extra pheasants as a precaution in case of any health issues within the flock.
It's a great thing we have a couple extra birds this year to put out and give people that last opportunity to harvest a bird before they have to wait till next year.
The commission is releasing more than 8,000 birds through Thursday across 6 regions of the Commonwealth. And Stouffer says even though this is his first year hunting, he's already counting down to next season.
I mean, it's a lot of fun, you know, getting outside, like have an opportunity like this in the bird stocking program. It's nice to be able to get out once or twice a week.
Even with the chaos around the cages, the process is simple. Releasing one bird at a time. In York County, I'm Kyle Ennis, Fox 43 News.
Well, 2 more Lancaster County farms have reported avian flu outbreaks, which affect more than 60,000 birds. The virus has now been detected at 5 commercial farms in the county since the beginning of the year. More than 2.3 million birds have been affected across the 5 sites, which accounts for nearly half of all cases nationwide in 2026. Lancaster-based Taylor Chip Cookies has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy and is closing its 2 Philadelphia locations. The co-founder tells Fox 43 the decision comes after costly permit delays in Philly and a canceled expansion project that included state grant funding. Prolonged permit delays and rising costs left the company's 2 locations in Philadelphia unable to offset the debt created during construction. Co-founder Doug Taylor says the financial strain also forced the company to cancel a planned manufacturing facility, meaning it did not receive the state grant tied to that project. Taylor says grants are tied directly to completing specific projects, and when construction costs more than double the numbers, no longer worked.
I didn't understand how long the land development process was. And we got grants, and of course, as you probably know, but it seems like a lot of people don't know, that grants are not a free check to spend money however you want. Like you can't get a grant and then go buy your dream house or a Lamborghini. That's just not how it works. It's tied to the project.
Taylor says Taylor Chip remains fully operational with York, Hershey, Intercourse, and Manheim Township stores staying open as the company focuses on e-commerce and reconstruction. Fox 43 reached out to the Shapiro administration regarding the grant and is waiting on a response. Well, dog owners are spending big these days, especially when those dogs are out helping on the hunting trail. How people at the Great American Outdoor Show say they're managing the costs. From specialty food to high-tech gear and travel, pet owners are spending big, especially when their dogs double as athletes and hunting partners. Fox 43's Tyler Poglich takes us to the Great American Outdoor Show in Harrisburg to see how those costs stack up and why owners say it's worth every penny.
They jump, sprint, and compete. And for many owners, the cost adds up quickly to take care of your pets every year.
For Magic, I would say it's probably upwards of $10,000.
$10,000?
Yeah.
Across the country, Americans spend more than $150 billion a year on their pets.
Good boy!
And for sporting and hunting dogs, that investment can go far beyond the basics.
So a lot of it is just their overall care. Like if the dog's not getting proper nutrition and stuff like that, then they're not going to be able to be these awesome athletes.
At the Great American Outdoor Show in Harrisburg, owners say food is just the beginning.
I mean, a bag of Purina is like over $100. If you want something like higher end like Origin, you're probably looking at like $150 or more sometimes.
Training and safety gear only adds to the cost.
Like this bumper is $30. She ruined it this morning. There used to be a rope on here. Her crate is $900.
For Krager, that yearly investment in her 2-year-old black Labrador retriever, Magic, is significant, but she says the money reflects more than competition.
She is part of our family.
Travel, training, and events can also drive costs higher, especially for competitors coming from out of state.
The trip down here to Harrisburg is about $900 for the weekend.
Haig says that kind of travel happens multiple times a year. All told, he estimates the annual cost adds up fast.
For dock diving, probably about $7,000.
Even with rising prices, both say the experience is worth it.
You're going to spend a lot of money, but you're going to have a ton of fun.
And while the price tag for these four-legged athletes can be steep, owners here say it's an investment that pays off in partnership, performance, and a whole lot of muddy paw prints, proving that for many, this sport is about far more than just a competition. Tyler Poglich, Fox 43 News.
Well, one organization is giving kids the chance to try trout fishing at the Great American Outdoor Show in Harrisburg. Sports America has a pond set up inside the Pennsylvania Farm Show complex, and it's filled with live rainbow trout. Kids can grab a rod and get a quick lesson on how to catch and release fish. The organization's owner says he hopes the experience will get kids hooked on fishing.
But it's something that, without it, what do you do? Spend your day on the phone, So we like to get them outdoors, and experience in everything that this country has to offer.
Sports America is giving out prizes for each catch, including free passes for a walleye fishing trip. Well, a Super Bowl commercial about doorbell cameras is causing concern. What tech experts and local authorities have to say about potential privacy issues. A Ring doorbell commercial is sparking controversy after the company highlighted a new AI-powered dog tracking feature in its app. Fox 43's Matt Kleinentz spoke with local cybersecurity experts about the service and the potential risks it could pose to users.
Pets are family, but every year, 10 million go missing.
Concerns are growing after this commercial aired on Super Bowl Sunday.
Be a hero in your neighborhood.
The more you understand what it's doing, I feel at that point, how can it be used against someone?
Ring is promoting its new search party feature, which uses neighborhood doorbell cameras and artificial intelligence to help locate missing pets. While the service promises to help reunite families with their pets, Scott Davis with the Cybersecurity Association of Pennsylvania says the technology could pose data privacy risks.
Once your information is on the internet, it's there through acquisition, through whatever usage is deemed appropriate by that company.
Davis says doorbell footage could be provided to police departments to assist in investigations, including the ongoing Nancy Guthrie case.
It helps solve crimes faster, but it should be based on a consent.
Like all video surveillance, I think there needs to be some guardrails to protect privacy.
Camp Hill Police Chief Stephen Margison says the borough has a doorbell camera registration program to help officers solve local crimes. He assures residents that officers will always seek permission from registered homeowners before requesting or using security video in an investigation.
We don't have access to it unless they give us access to it. So it's not like we get to initiate retrieving any video surveillance from a Ring doorbell or any other private security system.
Cybersecurity experts say users should read their doorbell cameras' terms of service to fully understand how their data may be used or stored.
Know how your data is going to be used, know where your data is going to be stored, and most importantly, be comfortable with that.
Matt Kleinentz, Fox 43 News.
A group of middle schoolers are helping dogs in shelters find forever homes. We take a look at their uplifting school project in this week's On the Bright Side. A group of middle schoolers in York County are turning an assignment into a powerful act of kindness for our four-legged friends. In this week's On the Bright Side, Fox 43's Gabrielle Mediak shows us how they're using their writing skills to help shelter dogs find loving homes.
Students at Eastern York Middle School are living up to their mascot's name. No armor required. These Golden Knights are helping shelter dogs find forever homes.
They looked at the SPCA website and they found some animals that maybe spoke to them or they were just interested in, or sometimes that they thought had a really funny name. And they helped to give the animals a voice by writing their bios for them.
The idea came from one of the 7th graders.
For me, I drew Snap and Kimmy.
Turning a classroom assignment into a real-world mission of helping get the dogs at the York County SPCA adopted.
Yeah, it was really fun. It was really cool to find out that they got adopted.
Students say their appreciation of these animals and the support they provide them made this project even more meaningful.
And I've just felt really connected to them, and they've helped me through a lot of hard times, like when I'm sad, and they've been happy with me when I'm happy.
I like animals because they're always there for you, no matter what.
The SPCA says efforts like this help break the stigma surrounding their shelter animals.
It's super important for them to get involved in this because they're learning about how to take care of animals, they're learning about their attributes, and they're helping them to get the community to learn more about them.
And their teacher says this is a lesson they'll carry far beyond the classroom, and a project they plan to continue.
For me, it's really all about the students and what they can get from it and how they can see that they can impact the world in a real way.
Proud of myself and glad that there's an opportunity like this to help animals with a hard backstory.
And that's a plan that they want to continue. If you're interested in adopting, the York County SPCA says dozens of dogs are still waiting. And thanks to these students, their stories are now being heard. As always, if you have some good news or anything you want to share, send me an email at gmediac@fox43.com. On the bright side, I'm Gabrielle Mediac.
In Dauphin County, the Lycans Valley Children's Museum has been selected by NASA as a community anchor. That means they are one of 11 organizations in the country being recognized for its leadership in expanding access to NASA-inspired STEM learning. The nonprofit museum opened in 2018, and now that it's a community anchor, it will receive a grant for a mobile planetarium. The hope is to give more kids access to science and encourage the next generation.
We really want to inspire the kids. We want the kids to be able to test, design stuff and test stuff and be able to be better problem solvers and know that they can be part of the solution, with these NASA-inspired missions and stuff that we're working with.
In addition to all of the museum's NASA-inspired activities, they have multiple STEM exhibits that change every few months. Well, a big honor for a York restaurant, as it has made USA Today's list of top 39 restaurants in the country. Hamir's Indian Fusion has been serving guests authentic Indian dishes since it opened in 2018. Owner and chef Hamir Patel began his culinary journey 15 years ago through a cooking fundraiser for breast cancer. He says making the list has been an overwhelming experience, and the recognition is something he doesn't take for granted.
But to be recognized and for them to even encourage me now even more, I appreciate it. It can only make it better from what I bring forward in creation. It motivates you.
Patel says he is already taking reservations from people who saw the list. He thanks the support of his staff and loyal customers for making the restaurant a national success. That's going to do it for Fox 43 Featured. Thanks for spending part of your day with us. Have a good one.